Now, believe you not, these are 7 things that no school will ever teach you as far as the money is concerned. All right, this is only channel that will teach you these things about the money and all the kind of things. By the way, right now where you are, say you're a professor, you're a doctor, you're a teacher, you are whatever you are, do you usually feel like this thing was rigged? I mean, some of the things that I learned from this Good Joseph channel is like, they were never taught to me when I was in high school, and I paid a lot of money to be those tertiary education, the university, the colleges, and what have you. We can't blame them. We aren't in the blame game. So here we are. These are the 7 things that the school will never teach you about the money. And they're very essential and important. All right. So just check this video up to the end. And by the way, don't forget to leave me that like and make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Why should you even subscribe in the first place? Because I upload a video each and every day. So there is a reason always come here and watch this substantive information. All right. This is Good Joseph speaking. Thank you for your eyeballs. Let's get the business. Now, the point number 1, skills will always pay you more than your profession. Yeah, sure. Skills will always pay you more than your profession. Let me define. Let me just draw a line between those 2 things, because probably to you it sounds like it's the same. Skills and profession, Joseph, are it not the same? No. There's a difference between the job and the work. We were all created by God for us to pursue the work, not the job. There are 2 different things that you're supposed to understand. So when we say you go for your job, this is what they train you for. Can you imagine this? See, let's take a very case scenario of somebody like Eliud Kipchoge or Usain Bolt, or who is the most popular. Let's take a case scenario of Lionel Messi, the football player. Okay. Now, what if Lionel Messi went to university and become a teacher? Does it exclude the fact that he's still a footballer? No, he's still a footballer. Now, this is the point. If Lionel Messi maybe went ahead and pursued the teaching career and he's a teacher, how much do you think we'll be making in average? Thank you. From that country of viewers. Okay. For example, in Kenya, the guy will be making around an entry-level teacher in high school pay you like around 40,000 or something. When you are kind of teacher of experience, talk about if they pay you 100,000 Kenyan shillings, that's like $1,000. I'm telling you, you've been there for quite a long time. Okay. Now the point is this: see, if there's a difference between that what they trained you for and there is that what you made up of. So when I talk about the skills, I talk about things that you understand. For example, say you are a lawyer. How do you then exercise those? Have you ever seen a lawyer A, lawyer B, lawyer C? They all train from the same school, but you prefer the lawyer A, lawyer B. Why? Some are eloquent, others are very good. For example, you have a great speaker, eloquent guy called the PLO Lumumba. If you've ever seen, he's a Kenyan guy, he's a professor. The way he talks, the way he articulates issues, the way he thinks, the way you get what I'm saying? There's a skill. It cannot be provided by a school. Okay, so what happens, the profession that they pay you, guess what happens now? They don't pay you based on your skill. They pay you based on what does an average teacher earn. That's what they give you. But the things to do with the skill, I mean, it's you to decide how much to be paid. I mean, for example, say you invite somebody like Jordan Peterson. He's a very great, speaker, professor, and what have you. Can you imagine inviting that guy to your seminar? Maybe you want to talk things about self-growth and what have you. How much would you pay that guy? You're not the one who says how much you'll pay them. It's them to pay. For example, they send you an invoice. They tell you maybe for an hour I charge $10,000 or $30,000 or whatever the amount of money they charge. So that's a reality. For example, if you invite a musician here, that musician that you love, and then you tell them, I would like to invite you to my show. You don't tell them this is our budget. No, they tell you this is what I charge. When you leverage on the skill, you charge based on what you believe is your personal value. That's the reality. So, and what happens with education is that they suppress that what you're skilled at, then they try to elevate that what they're teaching you for. Because once they elevate, and that's why you find, that's why you look at in the society, we have the desperate job seekers. They are rarely engaging their skills. They are simply relying on what they were taught. They don't want to elevate that what they understand and what have you. I don't know whether I'm making sense. And if I did, oh my goodness, all the glory to God. Let's go to the point number 2. They will never teach you about the cash, okay? It's the things to do with that money is spiritual. If you do believe in God just like I do, or maybe if you believe otherwise, money is energy or money is spiritual. What does it mean? It is not just the way you view it. Money is not that thing that you take off the system and keep it by yourself. It will always wrap up with you, go back to the system. And that's why you find most of the people when they are paid, it is not a payday, it's a transfer day. What does it mean? Money comes to your hands and transfers from your hands to the next people. That's the reality. And there's someone said, I don't know who exactly said those words, because I would love to give the credit. The person said, like, if you were to take all the money, distribute it to everyone here on earth for the purposes of equity and equality, whatever you call it, is that money will still end up to the same pockets of the wealthy people. Why? Because to attract money is more of what you have, the skill, the mindset, and all those things that you possess. So the reality is, what happens is that money is an energy, and what we think we know about the money cannot be created nor destroyed by country, blah, 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 you know, all those kind of things. Yeah. So what happens when you take the money off the system? Please hurry as much as you can to take back to the system, so that at least it can actually generate that. Am I even making sense? Yeah, once you get the money, what do I mean by taking back to the system? Taking it back to the system is to reinvest back the money so that it can generate more and bring more. But when you just take it and close that money, it always wrap up with you and go back to the system. That's why the payday to you is never a payday, it's actually a transfer day. Have you ever been in a situation whereby you realize that there are too many months at the end of the pay? Or realize that there's not too much money at the end of the month. So you read there are too many months at the end of the payday. Or we say the money that you take home can never take you home. Let's go to point number 3. The hard you work, or the hard they work, the less they pay. Okay, let me explain this. Go to any average town in Africa, okay? Look at those guys who do the hardest job out there. You find they don't get the best pay out there. But if you can find somebody, allow me to use this example. I know you'll contest it. You find somebody sitting in a chair like this one that is rotating and what have you, they are paid a lot of money. Why? Why do you think that happens? You find somebody who is a mason, you know, lifting those stones and, you know, sort of bending those, I don't know, steel and water, like, can you just imagine people who work in a steel company, or maybe in oil rigs? There are these places called the oil rigs. You find those, you know, I love watching those videos. You find those guys are so strenuous, you know, you find it so demanding in terms of the energy and physical strength, but you find the pay is not that pleasing, but somebody is earning a lot. And then you're like, how can you justify why is this guy being paid less compared to the other guy and what have you? Okay, let me ask a very simple question. Why do you think a politician will earn a lot of money compared to a soldier who is defending the politician? Just ask yourself, why would I risk myself, carry myself a gun and go to somewhere and risk my life, risk the entire of the country and what have you, by paying less compared to a politician, or maybe paid less than, you get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that there's a soldier, by the way, I wanted to be a soldier through of my life. If you didn't know that guy, I applied 6 times to be a soldier. I loved to be a soldier back on, because I never loved to be average. I just wanted to be somebody who is active and what have you. So I totally love the soldiers. May God bless you and thank you for your service. I'm just using this as an example. I'm not trying to rub shoulders with anybody. So the point is this: you realize that the harder the work it is, the less the pay. I know sometimes it's not all about money. That's true. But the point is, you're supposed to understand one thing. People pay you based on your perceived value. How valuable you are, that's how they pay you. And I love to give this example. If you meet somebody, they say in the street, then they tell you, good morning, how are you? My name is so-and-so. Oh, what do you do for a living? And you say, you know what, I'm a doctor. Okay, fine, thank you. The next time you meet that guy, maybe say in shanty places, and there may be slums and what have you, ask them, oh sir, how are you doing, doctor? Oh, where do you live? This is where I live. You'll be shocked, because you tend to associate that guy what he does for work and where he probably could be living. So what happens is this: people pay you based on your perceived value and even the respect that they accord you. The reason why people ask you, what do you do for a living? They simply want to know your value so that they know what the appropriate thing to accord you with. I've just told you the secret. That's the reality. Okay, now if you don't want people to know your things, don't tell them what you do for a living. Just tell them, I exercise and eat regularly and believe in God. Number 4, you deserve nothing. Yeah, nobody owes you nothing. You deserve nothing. The moment you bring yourself to that level, you're never going to be proud. You're going to be actually work yourself out. Because what happens is that you find people who graduate out of the university, they feel like they deserve everything. You know, I deserve you employing me to your job, and I deserve you paying me this amount of money, and nobody, you don't deserve anything. What happens is that you prove to people that you really deserve something. That's a reality. Because don't blame people here and there, you know, left and right and what have you. So you don't deserve anything. Work yourself up. And once you work yourself up, people will see value in you. And guess what happens now? Once they see value in you, the money will be thrown at you. That's a reality. Not going to explain more than that. Hope you got the point. Let's go to the point number 5. Job will always pay you enough to achieve the average life. And nobody will has ever employ you to actually make you wealthy. Nobody's in a business of making you wealthy. And anybody invites you to make money, probably you're being scammed. That's a reality. Okay? I've never seen somebody somewhere sitting somewhere minting millions and investing. Hey, you know what, guys? This is where the money is. Come and get. Nothing. In every deal, there is always a fool. And if you can't see any, you're the one. So what happens is that when you go to the job, guess what? They meant to cater for your basic needs. And once they cater for those basic needs, how to create wealth is made up of 2 things: your hard work and the grace of God, or you can call it lucky or luck, however you call it. The reality remains to be, job will always direct you towards the average and comfort life. So for you to actually achieve more, you need to go out there and do something we call living below. By the way, this now explains the point number 6. Living below your means has been proven to be one of the ways that is the primary way of achieving what we call the wealth creation. What exactly does it mean? See, that money that you usually paid, no matter whether it's 100,000, 200, 1 million, whatever the amount of money. So what you're supposed to understand is that I'm supposed to live below my means. Yes, I can afford all. And I always tell people, just because you can afford to pay a house rent worth like 50,000 Kenyan shillings a month, and does not mean you really need to go and live there. How about if you live maybe say in a 21 and then save the interest rate of the time? Just do what you call the delayed gratification. I'll forever remain to actually say this word until you get it right. Just because you can afford it does not, and you're not in a competition with anybody. Just live under your own lane, under your own terms and own conditions and what have you, provided does not violate other people's rights. Okay? Now, what happens is that you're supposed to understand one thing. Job will actually achieve that basic thing. So for you to actually create that surplus, live below your means, create that surplus. And once you create that surplus, that's now what you invest. And actually, I told you one thing. To invest on yourself should be a bill to you. Just the way you usually hurry to pay somebody's rent. That's what you're supposed to hurry to actually pay your bills. Or rather, pay your bills in the sense of investing. Okay? Because that is the only way you pay yourself. Let's go to the last one. The last one, guess what? There is a reason why they never teach you this about the money in the schools. I don't want to go to controversial. I don't want to talk about this topic. If you're smart, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. There is a reason why they'll never teach you things about the money thing and what have you. And there is nothing wrong. There is maybe probably they don't know, you know, they don't know why or whether you really need to get understanding of the money working formulas and what have you. But what I would advise you is to always take your time, learn something about the cash, invest as much as you can. And these are just but 7 things or ways on how you can be able to identify. These are things that you never learn them. And I always invite you to watch this channel at all the time. Shoot me that like. You know why? Once you like the video, it gets suggested by most of the people. Then when they come here, we change our society, we transform our society, we make them great. Even if we never our society, then we can try to make our pockets the greatest place we can ever be. So the point it is, am I saying that education is not okay? No, it's an amazing way. Go get the education at the same time. Respect people who are in power. That's what you're supposed to understand. And whenever you feel like they're not doing what you're supposed to do, reject, like we are doing in Kenya, reject the financial bill and what have you. So the point is this. At all the time, make sure that you live in a smart world so that at least you'll be able to grow yourself to the next level. And guess what? If you'd like to have a conversation with me, at all the time, shoot that comment or shoot that message to me on my email or my text. Shoot me a call. We can be able to have a discussion. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.